Hi there, good morning. My name is Justin. I'm with Goodland Plumbing. Today's date is Monday, December 16th, 2024. Right now it's about 10 a.m. We're here at 685 San Raymond for Kenneth Loma. This is going to be our second recording today on site. Our first recording was after we initially cleared the mainline stoppage from this exterior 3-inch ABS cleanout at the edge of the property. We had recorded out to the city connection and back. What we found was there's a pretty good amount of roots inside this clay section and a small zone of cast iron that is in pretty rough condition as well. We had then went back in, tried doing some step cutting with the snake. However, we were only able to get in with our smallest cutter head. Once we jumped up to our medium size, it was getting hung up on a slight offset at our ABS to clay transition, just as we get to the bottom of the pipe. But this is going to be kind of our post-snaking recording, just so you can kind of see how good we were able to get it. Unfortunately, we were not able to clear out all the roots, but it does seem like we cleared out a little bit more. Here we are at our city connection, and again, we are using the micro reel, so we don't have any distance. But if I was to guess, probably about 50 feet out from our connection, or from our ABS cleanout. As we pull back from this Y towards the cleanout, going through this clay, and we're going to be transitioning to cast iron right here. As you see, this section of cast is in pretty rough condition. Looks like we had a rock and a leaf stuck down in there in that rough zone. A good amount of debris at the bottom of the pipe, it looks like. It's hard to tell if this is debris. Maybe the bottom of the cast is missing in sections. Looks like right in here inside this cast section, it's hard to tell if that might be a small root intrusion growing in right there. But right there, right here, I should say, we are transitioning from, I believe, cast back to clay. This clay section is pretty much running straight from the middle of San Raymond back towards our cleanout. Pulling back here, as you can see, we do have a little root intrusion growing in at this clay joint. Pulling back here, this zone is probably going to be in the middle of the sidewalk right here, if I was to guess, but this is going to be our larger root intrusion at this clay joint. Beforehand, I believe this was, closer to 80 to 100% pipe capacity. After snaking it, it looks like we wormed through it a little bit more than before, opening it up to maybe at best 60%. But this is still a pretty substantial root intrusion growing in at this section of the pipe. Because of this might, result in further issues if this doesn't get addressed sooner than later. And pulling back here, we have another root intrusion right here, about 40% pipe capacity, another good size one. Pulling back here, it's kind of hard to tell, but right at this transition point from ABS to clay, we do have a pretty good size offset right here. Right now we are using the micro with the camera guard on there, but we are still having a slight difficulty getting the camera up there. This right here is what was kind of preventing us from stepping up with our larger cutter heads to get in there. Try my best to get all that water off the camera as we come up. Excuse me, sorry. As we come up this vertical section of the ABS, you're going to see about halfway up right here is where we have the house tie-in at. This is probably about, if I was to guess, 2 or 3 feet deep. And here we're coming up and out of the cleanout. This is our clean out. Just like before, our line's pretty much running straight out, following these tape marks out to the middle of San Raymond before it hits our city connection and heads this way. So that's going to be our final, the end of the final recording.